Okay, here we go, my loves. The first thing we need to do is before we can graph the zombie lines, right? And we're gonna have, before we can graph the zombie lines, we need to know where the barriers are, right? Remember, lines want to go straight or forward, but we're gonna have some barriers, right? You guys ready? This is new stuff, so you guys hang with me. Tell your questions. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is I start by doing a horizontal asymptote. I think that's the easiest place to start. And the way I do that is I look at their powers here. I look at those two guys. They have the same power. They're even Steven. When that happens, and if you even want to have your notes from yesterday, when the powers are the same, all I do to get my horizontal asymptote is steal the coefficients. So it would be y equals 4 over 2, which is the same as y equals 2. Is that cool? So the first thing is our zombie floor is not actually on the floor, right? The zombies are all standing on the second floor of the building. It's fire. They cannot drop below there, right? Zombies cannot drop below there. Or they can be below, they can't go above. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we are going to factor this baby. Are you guys ready to do that? So here we go. We're going to go ahead and take out a 4. So we're left with x minus 6. And we're going to take out a 2. So we're left with x minus 2. I can do a little bit of canceling. Yay, yay, yay. And I get 2. So here's what I got. 2. X minus 6 over x minus 2. Now I'm going to be honest. The trick of this stuff is to kind of memorize all the little pieces, right? So let's start with our x-intercept. That's the numerator, and it's just the parenthesis with the x guy, because we're looking for just x. So I go to just this guy, and I steal just that negative 6, but it comes out as 6. So 6, 0. Is everybody cool with that? So far, so good. Let's put that on our graph. 6, 0. Boom.
Can I close the door? We are moving a lot of stuff.
Yes, thank you. So now let's get the vertical asymptote. That's the denominator. Are you guys ready to do that? It's this guy. Nice and easy. X equals 2. Get your lava line. Okay, so last thing. Do I have any holes? Guys, I gotta get through this one. Any holes? Nope, no holes. Okay, this is not new. That was the last 2 days. Now we got to put on our zombie lines, and here's the thing. We have to decide, and this is the whole piece right here, so just watch me here and you can ignore me. We have to decide zombies can live in a couple of places. Maybe the zombies are down here. Maybe the zombies are up here. Maybe they're over here, and maybe they're over here. And my job today is to decide where the hell are they, right? So we're going to use some hints to do this. And the first hint is this. Like mice, if you have one mouse in your house, you have a lot. A mouse in your house. So if you have a zombie down in that quadrant down there, guess what? All the zombies are down there. So the first thing to draw this in, we know, hey, the zombies are down here. So we're going to draw this guy in. And here's what we do. He comes cruising this way. Up, he goes down. And he comes cruising this way. Up, he goes out. Just like that. Does that make sense? Because it gave me a zombie. Because if he tries, so here's what, if he goes this way, he just goes, he just stops, right? So they're always curving. So what I'm thinking is, if you're down, oh, let's get rid of that. If you're in this quadrant down here, your only option is to kind of go like this. Does that make sense? But I got to hit that point. Now, everyone's watching me. I got a caveat right here. If you are in pre-calc honors or AP, and next year when you take college algebra, if you're a senior, you're going to take this class and ace it. Most teachers will make you find 2 zombies over here. They're going to say, knowing one is not quite enough. Plug in and find another one. But I'm going to say this. You get a damn good graph just knowing where 1 is. So we're okay knowing 1, but next year, if your teacher tells you that you need to find a second, that's why. Now, the zombies can be other, guys, I have to get through it. So I need you guys to just either separate a little bit or just not talk till I finish these 2 parts. Okay. Now, the zombies can be other places. They can be here, here, or here. Now, I got to figure that out. But the first thing is, I got a nice clue. They will not be here. And let me explain why. These are called rational functions. And functions can't be on top of each other. Remember that it's not predictable. Remember when we said this? You can't have this action happening where it's side to side, right? So if you have a zombie line down here, you cannot have any zombies up there. If you have one up here, I can't have any down there. That's good news, right? Now here comes the one thing that's tricky. There could be zombies here or here. And here's how we're going to find out. We need to plug in a test zombie, right? We're going to plug in a test zombie, and if the test zombie where he wants to be will be where all the zombies are. So here's what. I am saying all of these points from here over, I want to plug in one of these numbers as a test, right? Because say I plug in the number 1 and I get a zombie down here, well, that's where my zombies will be. And if I plug in the number 1 and I get it up here, that's where my zombies will be. Does that make sense? So we're going to plug in a number. Now you can pick any of these numbers. You could pick -7 to plug in, or you could pick 3 to plug, -3, or 0, or 1. I don't care. Plug in a decent number. I would plug in 0 because 0 is very easy, right? But I don't want to plug anything over here. I already know where my zombies are on this side. I want to plug in something over here. So right now, go to this guy right here. Here he is. Plug in a number like 0 or 1 or -1. Yes. Because I'm going to be on this side of my asymptote, right? Because that gives me my 4 quadrants. So these zombies are on this side of the lava line. Where are my zombies on? So think about it this way. It's like I got zombies inside the house and outside, right? Okay, so I'm going to plug in 0. You guys with me? Here we go. Let me go ahead and erase a bunch of stuff here. I got too much stuff going on. I'm going to plug in 0. So here's what I do. Oh, stop doing that, man. That is so bugging me today. I'm going to plug in 0. And I'm going to do it right here. So I'm going to say 0 and 0. So I'm going to get -6 times 2. So I get -12 on the top. And 0 take away 2 is -2. -12 divided by -2 is 6. Is everybody cool with how I got that? So watch what happens. That tells me 0, -6, or 0, 6. There's a zombie right there. That's where the other zombies are living, right? So where are they going to do? They're going to start up here and come cruising down and go like that. And that is the graph of this rational function. That's it. What you will need to show me on Friday is at least one zombie point here and at least one zombie point there. And I'm going to show you, sometimes they give you a lot of information. You're not going to have to do that much work. It will always be that curve. And no, here's what's nice. Because think about it. Think of how your zombies are hoarding up, right? They want to spread out. They can go this way, and they can go this way, but they can't go over here. Once I know there's one zombie over here, that's when they're going to shake, right? Because that's what would happen in real life. They'd bunch up, and then start going up like that, right? Yes. No, it doesn't always work. And we're going to see that in a little bit. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? Hey, why don't I have one of you sit somewhere else, right? Because I just don't want to keep asking. So, or just slide your desk. How about this? Jace, just slide your desk over. Just, and Liam will slide his desk over. Just slide over so I can get through. You guys ready? Here we go. More. That's it. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? Step one. Let's get that horizontal asymptote. Let's find out where that zombie floor is. How do I do that? I look at these guys, right? I've got more stuff on the bottom. What does that tell me about my horizontal asymptote? It will be y equals 0. Do you need to memorize that? Yeah, you do. Am I going to draw that in right now? I am. Ooh, making it red. Now, for some of my friends who are pretty good at math here, can I get an x-intercept if my floor is on fire? Can something be sitting on the x line? No, right? Because the x line is on fire. So you're going to figure out in a minute, we're going to have no intercept. But some of you are going to be able to say, hey, can I just put none right now? You can, but let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and factor it. X plus 5, x plus 5, x plus 4. Let's do a little bit of canceling, light canceling. Boom, boom. Here's what we get. We get 1 on the top and x plus 4 on the bottom. Is everybody cool with that? Okay. So I steal from the x on the top to get my intercept, but there is no x on the top. So sadly, no intercept. Well, that makes sense. If the zombies are touching the x line, they're on fire, and that's not good, right? You want them not to burn. How about the vertical intercept, the vertical asymptote? Can you figure that out and put it on your graph, please? That's going to give us our quadrants, right? Tomorrow we're going to do one with more quadrants. You'll see. You'll like it. It's not bad. I'm getting x equals -4. Yeah, did you get that? Draw it in there. Draw it in there. Here's what. My zombies are going to be living somewhere in here. They're either going to be living down here or up here, and up here or down here. We got to figure out where. But there's one more thing we got to do. We got to do the holes. Holes are the thing that cancel. So on this one, the hole is going to be at -5, comma, something. How do I get that something? I plug it in right there. Super, super easy. So -5 plus 4 is going to be -1. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put that. You know what I do? I just go like this. It is going to be like that. Does that look right? Did I do that right? Okay. Okay. So, we're ready to draw our zombies in. But I don't have a lot of information. And I don't want to do a lot of plugging in. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is this. If you come to my house and I say, hey, be careful in my backyard. I have a big giant a sinkhole. Don't go in. That would be smart, right? Would I need to tell you about a sinkhole that's happening in France if none of you are going to France? No, it would be dumb. You don't care if there's a sinkhole in France. The French people are mean. They could all fall in the sinkhole. I'm okay with that, right? And the reason I'm telling you that is this. If I have a hole right here, I'm telling you that because the zombies need to be careful of it, which means the zombies are down there, right? I don't need to tell them about a hole if they're not there. So right now, I know my zombies are over here, and I'm telling them, zombies, be careful. Don't fall in that hole. So here's my first set of zombiness. Are you guys cool with that, right? That hole helped me. It helped me. So now I only need one more test point. I need to test something to find out if my zombies are up here or down here. I need to plug in a number, right? Here are my choices. I could plug in this guy or 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 this guy. It doesn't matter. For me, I plug in the one right next to the asymptote because it makes a really nice number because I'm lazy. And where do I plug it into? I plug it into this guy. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to plug in -3. Do you have to pick -3? No, I had someone in my other class who picked 0, and that was totally fine. It totally worked. I'm going to use -3 because I'm lazy, and I get -3, 1. That is telling me that my zombies are right here. So if they're right there, here's where they're located. What would have happened if I had plugged in 0? Watch what would have happened. I would have got 0, 1/4, and guess what? That's that point right there. 0, 1/4. That could have worked too. Don't have to make it hard. I just have to know where my zombies are located. How is that? Is that okay? I'm going to stop you, and I want you to appreciate how much effing math that, oh God, I am taping. How much freaking math this is, right? Like, that's crazy. That's a crazy equation, and you just genuinely did a badass graph. That's impressive. Like, every once in a while, you need to stop and be like, wow, I actually can do some pretty impressive things. So here we go. Last one, best one. I'm going to come around. I'm going to help you. This one gives you so much information, you're going to know right where your zombies are. Get to work. Give it a try. You guys can go back now. Thank you for being quiet while I did that part. But if you got this, you got this. I'm up here looking for the makeup test. I graded and cussed you out as I graded while you're doing this problem. So start with your horizontal asymptote. That's what I do. Then factor it. Find all your missing pieces. So I did that 50% 4 now. So it's a 6 out of 12. Everyone knows that. That was good. You know, it's an old test, like forever and ever. And it's just you. That's okay. That's Ryan. Oh, that's somebody. The X. I don't know why I have. There's 3 X's on top of 2 X's. Trav. Ryan. There you go. Great job. And nice.
Is it
we're gonna do it. Want to do it?
Just to figure out the horizontal asymptote, is it all the X's that are on the top and all the X's?
No, just the biggest degree. Just literally this guy and this guy. So it's just going to be what's in front. I just steal the coefficients. So it's so easy. It's just going to be y equals 1. Yeah, so it gives us all of our stuff. So here we go. X, yes, minus 5, x plus 1 over x minus 1, x plus 1, a little light canceling, light. So here's what I got. X minus 5, x minus 1. First thing I'm going to do is find my x-intercept. I have one. It's at 5,0. Love that for me. I don't always get it, but when I do, I love it. I'm going to get x equals 1 for my vertical asymptote, and my hole is going to be at -1, which I plug in. So -1 minus 5, -1 minus 1, that is going to be +3. Is that right? Please don't let me do this. Is that right? Is it +3? Okay. So here we go. Here's what's cool. It gives me everything. It's totally going to give me everything. I'm going to start with my asymptotes. 1 and 1. There's no zombies there. No zombies there. Here comes my x-intercept is right here at 5. Guess what that means? That means the zombies are in the basement, right? The zombies are down here. And then finally, I got a hole at -1, 3. That means the zombies are upstairs because they're having to be careful of that hole. There's no reason to tell them to be careful unless they're there. And that is the graph of that crazy thing. That's a lot of math. I am super impressed with you guys. Goodbye, my friends who've watched this. You are all